Hi, gorgeous people. So I am from work and I'm about to do my makeup because I am a content creator and work has got to be done. But I'm introducing more chit chat, have a chat, girl talk, and mostly centered around self care, self love, and just self discovery, self awareness, and stuff like that. On today, I will be doing my makeup, but we'll be having a chat. I'm not feeling very well at the moment. Isn't like physically, mentally I am absolutely amazing. I'm fine. Well, that's debatable because I'm in an avoidant sort of space. I'm not replying to messages the way that I normally do because I just can't be asked talking to people. And this actually fits into what the subject of this conversation is, and I hope you guys can either agree or disagree with me, or we can have conversations about this. I'm not well physically at the moment. I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know if I can call them severe, but to me it feels like severe head migraine. I'm weak in terms of strength and talking and anything. It feels very energy taking right now. Maybe that's why I'm in an avoidance space. I don't know. But let's start doing my makeup. Are we doing blonde? Are we actually doing blonde eyebrows? I have this look that I really want to try and do, but I will do it as a sit down makeup dedicated video because I would rather, you know. Okay, so today's topic, we're talking about scarcity, right? I feel like I need to elaborate, and I'm personally a little bit of a private person. Unless I know you or I've met you and we've had a conversation, you most likely know nothing about me. And to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie, I like it that way. We're doing bleached eyebrows. Girl. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to talk about scarcity is because when you have been in a space where you don't like yourself, where you feel like people do not approve of you or how you exist, of your existence, you feel the need to be accepted. And one of the things within the need to be accepted is wanting to make yourself as available as possible. Firstly, we'll talk about scarcity in general. Scarce, you know what scarce means. Not being too available, not being available for a lot of things. When you make yourself too available, sometimes people lose. People and life and things can easily make you feel insignificant because you're too available. They know they can take the meek, you know. Now, I am not saying do not be available for your friends and your family. This is where you choose, where you practice this. So here's how I personally practice scarcity. I don't make myself available for things that I know would make me feel, one, insignificant, and two, things that would impact how I feel about myself, and three, areas, environments that feel like will have an impact on my mental health. Two, I practice it in also with dating. I will talk about the struggles of dating as a plus size girl and as a plus size woman in a different video. But it is one of the most draining experience personally that I've had, and that many other plus size creators that I've spoken to have also experienced. It is not an easy one, I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's where I practice scarcity as well. Basically, I feel like the opposite of scarcity would be to seek validation a lot from people. One of the reasons we do this, particularly if you are a plus size woman, or you have, because I don't believe that every plus size woman has not liked their body. You might have not. But from the perspective of a plus size woman who really has not always had that loving relationship with the body, I feel like practicing scarcity and retaining myself and keeping myself from bad energy, keeping myself from people who constantly want to take, keeping myself away from people who just want to use and discard, or just want to use you to sort of give themselves a sense of worth, a sense of importance, or any of those things where I genuinely feel like I am not being appreciated or taken seriously as I should be. Or besides being taken serious, this could happen even with like friends and family. We all have multiple friends. Some of us all have multiple friends, and you know your friends, you know your friendship circles better than anyone, so you'd be able to determine that. But sometimes too much availability in people's lives really makes them not value you. It's the same thing as saying too much about your dreams, about your plans, about where you want to be, has a high probability of affecting how you actually get to execute those plans. Not because you're incapable of executing those plans and those dreams, but simply because, I don't know what it is, sometimes talking about things makes your mind, and maybe the universe and God, make it feel like it's happened already, so you kind of like strip it away from you. And besides, the people you're talking to and the people you're making yourself available to, do they deserve you being there for them? Do you know what I mean? Is it like, do you every time when you're in their space end up leaving feeling like you're drained? You want to be away from that space. You feel like you need to isolate so that you can re-find yourself. Those are the places where you should practice scarcity. Scarcity is an act of not being available for bullshit, period. And some people may not understand. Like, some people may feel like you're isolating yourself, you're keeping yourself away, But sometimes there are some people that no matter, even if you love them, their energy is draining. And being around them has a way of making you feel either inferior or unhappy, or just, are we actually enjoying these blonde eyebrows? Like, is this what we're gonna do for this video? Girl, because I had to stop for a second and look. Like, my mom is gonna be so shocked. So that's part one. Second up, I always contour before I apply my highlighter. So anyway, now let's talk about scarcity in dating. I feel like for me, that's where I've practiced it the most, because it's helped me set boundaries. I feel like I am not a big dater. You know how like there are people who are serial daters? Not me. I can just sit in my space and never leave my space, and I will be absolutely fine. I never seek to be outside and trying to make relationships and getting to know people. But I have had a moment where I found myself, really craving affection and stuff like that. And because of that, I felt like I had to open myself up and make myself available for basically such opportunity. And with that means I was available to people, right? Some people saw that. And what happened after that was like, I then started to feel like my availability or my need for their affection was so obvious, so too much. And not too much, because I don't feel like you should feel like any feelings or emotions that you feel towards anybody can be too much. You are entitled and you have absolutely every right to feel what you feel for anybody, right? But I just felt like, especially me dating as a plus size girl, which again is a video that I'll have a conversation about. But like when you have nyash, sometimes people entertain you for the sake of nyash. And when you are in a space where you just want so much affection and you want to feel loved and you want to feel wanted, that will go over your head. And you will hear the mans telling you all type, well, I am into the mans anyway, telling you all type of bullshit, and you're most likely to buy it. So in that space at that time, I personally became available for energy that was not good for me, because I was in a state of almost like I don't think it was desperation, but I genuinely wanted to make a connection and I wanted to find someone. And I was in a space where I genuinely wanted to be loved. I get in those spaces very often, but because I am not really a dater, that also means I'm not really good at setting boundaries when it comes to dating. And once I like you, boy, I like you. I am not an emotional person. I'm quite a rational person with almost just about anything. Most of my friends and family, they come to me when they want to speak rational. But when they want emotional, I'm not the best person to come to because I will be irrational with you. So in that instance, for me, like, I felt like my availability to those people was then taken for granted. And in it being taken for granted, it made me feel insignificant and taken for granted. And so that's when I started to learn how to set those boundaries. And you know what? Sometimes you don't learn the easy way. Sometimes you learn the hardest way. I've had to learn a lot of things the hard way. I'm not gonna lie. And that was one of them for me. So that's when I started to learn how to not be available for a lot of things. Because also being available for things for certain things, again, you have to open yourself up for opportunities and whatnot. But you just have to be careful which opportunities and what exactly are you opening yourself up for. Because, like I said, some people really come into your life just to take. Everybody has ulterior motives, whether innocent, whether pure, whether bad, whether self-serving. Everybody comes into your life with an intention, and not being extremely immediately available to that person can really keep you at a distance. And sometimes when you are at a distance, you're able to like distinguish what is going on here. So that's why I believe that people should start practicing a bit of scarcity. Too much availability can easily translate as desperation. As desperation and almost like serious need of validation. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with that, but I personally feel like seeking validation too much has a very dangerous way of putting you in positions where you are never gonna be happy, because ain't nobody got time to be giving anybody validation like that. All I'm trying to let you know is that sometimes you're too available, and I could sit here and say there is nothing wrong with being too available, but I feel like there is something wrong with it to a degree, because when you're too available for things, it opens you up to a lot of bad energy. When you're too available, you're available for good energy, but trust me, when you open a door just for good stuff to come in, remember the door is open. So that means bad stuff can also come in. Not that you should close yourself, but what it does, or what I feel like it's done for me, it's taught me how to draw back and really like see situations for what they are, be able to hinder myself from either getting heartbroken or getting hurt by situations simply because I've not immediately put myself off of them, but because I was able to not be too involved, be too available. I'm gonna keep using that word. Be too there, because that, as much as it shouldn't, has a dire consequence. So how do you practice scarcity? Let's get to it. First off, don't jump into situations because at the moment you want them. Yeah, YOLO. You have one life, but you also, in that one life, don't want to be living it under complete sadness or regret or wishing you never gave certain people, a space in your life, da 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 da. Genuinely and honestly speaking, in some areas you really have to refrain from people, you know. But how about we do like a reverse smoky eye? So I'm gonna use a pencil, an eyebrow pencil, or eyeliner pencil, just like a black one. I can completely ruin this and try to put one here. It's giving panda, let's be honest. Ways to practice scarcity. First up, be excited for an opportunity. Excited for an opportunity to meet someone. Be excited to get to know someone. However, set boundaries. Set boundaries for yourself, particularly for yourself. Let yourself know, like, when it gets to this point, not available for that bullshit. When I'm being treated like this, not available for that bullshit, and pull through with it. How do we feel? I am starting to like this. So, number 2, learn to say no to people. Learn to say, I can't do this. I can't be that for you. I don't want this. No matter how much you feel, especially let's say in dating, no matter how much you feel a soft spot for that person, do not disrespect yourself by giving them the space to disrespect you. And be able to say no. This is not what I want. In this situation, I don't feel valued. I don't feel wanted. I don't feel respected. I don't feel appreciated. I'ma leave. I'ma vacate the premises. This is not for me. Learn to say no and stand by your no. Often, we don't recognize just how debilitating it is to say no and then go up against your no. I've done it, girl. And every time I've went back against my own boundary, I come back feeling like an even more idiot. Don't do it. Don't. Number 3, be self-aware. Be self-aware. By that, I mean, sometimes it really is about self than it is about other people. Who are you sharing your information with? Who are you sharing your body with? What are your intentions of you sharing those things with? Why are you spending so much time in this place? What are you getting in this place that you cannot get from for yourself? And is this space giving you what you need? Are you just taking from this space, or are you actually sharing enough energies with each other's life? I feel like in life, that's why we have all this debacle about soulmates and da 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 da. We do get energy. We do share energy from one another. But at the same time, it's really important to like ask yourself, why am I here? What am I doing here? Am I adding or subtracting from this issue? Am I just wanting to be given and to be appreciated, to be the one receiving all the good stuff while I'm just taking? Am I reciprocating this energy? Is this energy that I'm giving reciprocated? Evaluate self-awareness. If you are unhappy with the answer, get moving, baby. Number 3, this is 50-50. I say 50-50 because it can genuinely be good for some people, but it can also be not good for some people. I would just give you the tools. You decide what will work for you. But me personally, I evacuate the premises. I self-isolate. Because I personally find that my space gives me so much clarity. That's why it's also important that you create a space for yourself that is good for you, that gives you a safe space, a safe, like a place for clarity. Sometimes I do genuinely feel like completely drained by how I make myself available for some situations and available for even bullshit. Sometimes I do take bullshit. I'm human. Sometimes my own emotions and my own desires really do get the best of me, that I am not able to adhere to even my own boundaries. But when I draw back and I come back to my space and I live in my space and I get to sit with myself, read a couple of books, which I will also make a video on or put below. Read a couple of books to remind myself who the fuck I am. And I assure you, after that, I'm happy. My hope is that, honestly, between me being not well organized and not have organized my thoughts very well prior to me doing this video, I'm hoping that you got something from this video, and that from now on you just follow the art of scarcity, not being available for absolute bullshit. And sometimes bullshit is the good stuff. Sometimes bullshit is the people you love. Sometimes bullshit is the things you need. Before I put mascara, let's set it. Really drench. Woo. Like, I have been in situations where I have been available for certain people, available for certain things, and I've come out looking like a fuck off idiot. And also, trust your goddamn gut instinct. I've cracked it. I should really think about becoming a makeup artist because, excusez-moi, por favor. Ain't no way I'm gonna be this good at this thing when I never been to makeup school. Get around town. But I'm really enjoying like my creative streak at the moment. My nose are itchy. Guys, I need to buy a new mascara because this is dry as fuck. Crusty motherfucker. Right about there. Especially when I see like there is a little acne. Okay. So guys, my phone turned off while I was mid-talking, but this is the final look. I hope you like it. I should have actually filmed it in front of the iPad. I'm still setting up my house for filming, okay? But I hope you enjoyed that video and I hope you got a lot from it. I just hope you found something to relate to yourself and for yourself. So follow me on the gram, follow me on TikTok. Check out my website. You might find some more stuff that you're into or something like that. So